straight away for him today, and then Ahmad came off the bench and he was amazing. How important will that be for you towards the end of the season, that you've got that level of competition, so there's that kind of cut-throat kind of challenge for the players that if you don't play well, they might get subbed out or come out, etc.?
Yeah, it depends how you look at it. I don't see it as I understand what you say. I think the competition in terms of pushing each other performance-wise is important, because it just pushes the level up and keeps you on your edge and playing on your edge. But it's not from week to week that all of a sudden we're really a fan of certain players, and then the next week you're on the bench and we don't like you anymore. It's really not that. It's a little bit on the certain games, certain types, certain strengths. Ahmad's been massive for us, and so it's not a major downside that he didn't start today. He's a big player for us. So I think that's our approach to it, and the boys have been fantastic. I know we've ended up keeping a consistent team, but that doesn't mean that we can't change things around, and that it means it's a big fallout, or someone's had a bad game so they're out of the team. It's not necessarily that at all. So the boys have been really good with that, and the flexibility and the rotations, and we can change things about a little bit, which is great for us to have.
With Ahmad, he was here obviously when you were with Ollie as well. Seems to come on a lot on and off the pitch.
Yeah, he's another one, Ahmad. He's such a dream to work with. His attitude, he's so positive. He wants to learn. If he wants to keep pushing, he asks for more. What can I do more? How can I improve? He's desperate to do well, and he's been a huge part of the team, and he will be sometimes it's the eye-catching bits and the bits that we kind of know he can bring, and then other times some of his work off the ball and defending, and that's huge to be able to do that for that type of player, really. So he's got a lot of attributes, Ahmad, and the way he came on today didn't surprise me, because he's been so positive all week. So I've been really happy.
Players ask how Luke Shaw is.
He was just ill. He just wasn't feeling well at all. So it was an illness, but it wasn't an injury.
Rather than the foot, that's
yeah. No, he said he wasn't feeling too well. So.
Hopefully back for Wednesday.
I hope so. Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know at this stage, but yeah, hopefully. Yeah. No, not for Wednesday. No.
James.
Michael, the club team played obviously a very different system under the previous manager, and a lot of wingers, out and out wingers, have obviously been moved on. Many people obviously associate United with out and out wingers, and you're obviously now playing the system that needs them. The left with Dorgu gone, you've obviously got a guy who likes to drift inside there now. Do you see that as an area, sort of left wing, that might need to be addressed in the summer, given who's gone out and given the shift now to that 4-2-3-1?
I think you're always looking at the balance of the team and the squad, really, and to give you the utmost flexibility. So it's definitely something to look at, for sure. But I think the way Mateus can play that at times as well. Ahmad can do that at times. He came on against West Ham and played off the left. There's different ways of doing it, but so I think balance within the squad and trying to have that. I think we've got really good options across the front line, and we can change things in games, and we have done quite a lot actually. But sometimes subtle things, sometimes bigger things. So it's but certainly Mateus, when he plays wide 1v1, he's tough to stop.
If you look though today, like obviously with Luke going off, you had Nazarawi at left back. He's a right footer, and I suppose you've got a left sided forward like Cunha cuts inside. You could do an overlapping sort of fullback. I know obviously you've inherited what you've inherited. I just wonder whether that is something that the club will have to look at in the summer.
Yeah, quite possibly in certain ways, but yeah, I think we can still be dangerous, and I still think we can fill that spot. I think we've got players to be able to do it. So it's not a huge concern at the moment. We always want to improve, and we're always thinking that perfect scenario of mixing players together and connections and how it suits on the pitch. But Mateus has played that role and caused some problems, and caused big problems, and had big moments from that, playing wide or inside. So he's doing well as well.
Samuel.
Hi Michael again. I know you say you don't want to get carried away, but when you look at your record in charge, do you accept that you've got a pretty good chance of still being here next season, being the head coach?
It's going to be every week, isn't it? There's no getting away from the situation. Of course, it's not, and there's not really an awful lot I can say about it, to be honest. I think I love being here. I love doing what I'm doing. I've said it from the start. I'm not making any decisions for short term or quick fixes. I think that it's the responsibility, however long I'm here, to make decisions the best for the football club in the long term. So, of course, listen, winning games helps, you know, and the boys are doing great with that. We'll just have to see where it ends up. But there's not really much I can give you on top of that at the moment, really.
And just go back to Newcastle, obviously you're from the area, grew up in Newcastle, the club that struggled down with recent years, I think they've won with fans present since you were assisting Ole. Newcastle, bad run at home at the moment. What would you make of them going into the games?
It's a challenging place to play, you know, when they're in full flow and the supporters are there. I think it's a tough place, so we've got to be ready for that. It's a different kind of challenge again. You know, I know they've had mixed results of late, but they're a good team. Eddie's a fantastic manager, and they're a real dangerous team. So I think that run of, certainly what our run's been like previous, I think that's not one that I kind of look at too much, and certainly the fact that whatever form they're in going into the game, I know this game's a tough game, so we'll have to be ready for that.
Time.
Hi, Michael. Just on your own kind of coaching journey, you obviously had a bit of time out before coming in from Middlesbrough. You clearly enjoy the role here, but do you feel like you've got that coaching bug back since you've been here, and whatever happens here, whether you get the job or not, do you feel like your future lies in coaching or management rather than, say, TV work?
Was I not very good at that now? Nah, listen, I enjoy working with players, you know, I enjoy trying to help players. I mean, the responsibility here is the whole football club, and I enjoy it, you know, and it's a privilege to be in a position to be able to influence certain things, but I enjoy working with players and helping them, and whether that's the career, whether that's for the team, whether that's development them week to week, that's something that I just really enjoy and passionate about, you know, so never really lost it, to be honest. Whether it's managing, head coach, whatever role that kind of is, it comes down to working with players and people, really, to get the best out of people, and backroom staff and supporters, and it's something that I like in seeing that development and connection growing. So whether that's skills or technical skills, or whether you see the group coming together today and from a setback to be able to overcome that, it's nice when you're part of that.
Jamie.
Hi, Michael. Would you 100% rule out catching Arsenal?
Just threw that one in as well, don't you now? No, listen, you can't rule anything out in football, right? But we know we got to be realistic and know where it's at. I think we just got to try and keep winning games and see where there's above us now. There's two fantastic teams. There's some really good teams in and around us. So we've had a good run. We're certainly not getting carried away. We got to be patient. We got to be living in the moment a little bit. Certainly take the confidence. Wherever that's going to take us, we'll just have to see. But we'll keep pushing anyway.
One of the reasons I ask, one of the reasons, he obviously played under Ferguson, who, you know, would never, ever give up anything. He may well have overhauled 10 points in your time. I'm not so sure. But so what I'm saying, you play under a guy who would never give up. So I'm guessing you're covering the same stuff. Why not give it a go?
No, you definitely glasses, half full, and what you can achieve more than the negative side, that's for sure. And I think that's just that was what a half time was today. You know, them moments when how's it going to go both ways? You got to take the positive one, really. And but yeah, of course, I'm being realistic about it. We have to win. We have to win a lot of football matches for that to happen. So we'll do what we've been doing, really, and go one at a time. And we've got one now, and then we've got a little bit of a break before Villa. So we'll go give us everything for Wednesday night.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, cheers, guys.